All right. Let's see what we're doing here. Set up a couple of quick things. We'll go live on Instagram as well here. And see if I can't monitor this somewhat, but I kind of doubt it. We'll see what happens. This phone's pretty terrible, by the way. So you just got to deal with it. Let's see if I can't organize this in some way so that people can see it. Let's see how this thing works out. All right. So we're live, and I'm going to see if I can grab the YouTube link real quick, so just bear with me for a second. Also, my son Oliver is bound to come charging in here at some point, so yeah, that'll be fun. He's 3 years old and crazy, so you just have to kind of go along with that. Now, if I can find my own video real quick so I can grab the link, because this stuff is kind of crazy. There we go. I'll mute that and come back over here for a hot second. This is my holding cell, by the way. All right, I'll share this around real quick. And so, yeah, just to give you guys a little bit of story as to what's going on here. Good friends over at Midas sent me over a Neuron to test. This one it's still a prototype, but it's pretty close to production, from what I'm understanding. So we should be able to check it out and kind of get an idea as far as what's going on. And yeah, so I have not opened the box, quite obviously. So I'm going to unbox it, and then I'm going to listen to it. We're going to play with it a little bit, see what it sounds like. Again, I'm in my holding cell. This is my little temporary setup while my new studio is being built. So you'll have to bear with the conditions in here. And let's see, where else are we at? Yeah. All right. I think we're good to go. Okay. And I'm in the chat here. Hello, world. There we go. So as you come in here and start watching, please type in the chat so I know, and you can let me know. Ken is everywhere. We are all Ken. So you guys can let me know how the audio sounds. It looks like my voice is really low. Let me see if I can kick that up. Test, test, test. Is that any better? Looks like the volume level is pretty low. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Check, check. Sibilance. Okay, so yeah, hopefully it looks like it's clipping a little bit here. Back it off. Just that. So yeah, I can't monitor the sound of this feed, which is, yeah. Okay, so let's get to cracking on this thing, man. We're gonna open this thing up. Let me move this little keyboard out of the way. Now I'm loud. So okay, we'll back it off just a bit more. Check, check, check. All right, hopefully that sounds okay. So set this stuff out of the way. And yeah, here we go. Let me angle this thing a little bit. So this is the box, the black box of death. We will crack this thing open, and for the people watching on Instagram, and for you on YouTube, Instagram, it is at Flux302. If you're on Instagram and you want to see the YouTube feed, it is youtube.com/Fluxwithit. Is it / or /? I don't know. You kids and your internets. All right, so we'll cut this bad boy open. And again, this is prototype, so usually I don't get to show prototype unboxings. Prototype unboxings are, usually kept down low, but because this thing's already been announced, and let's see if I can raise this thing up a little bit. Bring it over this way. There you go. So yeah, usually I don't get to show when I get a prototype or anything for the first time, and but this thing's already been announced, and I asked for permission, and they said, yeah, sure, we can show this thing. So I said, that's awesome, because usually I'll have something for a few months and I have to stay quiet, and I want to tell everybody about it and say, hey, this is what's going on. So yeah, all right, let's open this thing up. And I have it upside down, I guess. Let's do it this way. And now, obviously, this is not going to be consumer packaging. Let's pull this thing out here. And I know that they were doing some last-minute work on this thing before they shipped it out to me. Some hand soldering to it. I guess there were some last-minute changes that they wanted to make. So let's take a look at this thing. All right, and there we have it. Let's see how it looks on there. Okay, so first thing I'm going to say, first impressions, because that's always good. The first thing I always look at with these kinds of things is, how do the jacks feel? So they have like these plastic washers on here so that they're kind of panel mounted, which is great. That's definitely a good thing to see, because that was the first thing that worried me. This is a prototype of the Mini Brute 2S. That was the very first thing that worried me about the 2S. And my prototype here has an earlier version of the patch panel. They did revise it on the production version, and the production patch panel feels great on the Mini Brute. So I was quite happy about that. This one looks like they've already got these like plastic washers on here that feels very solid. There's no wiggle or anything in the jacks, so that feels good. DIN MIDI jack on here feels pretty solid. Not getting much wiggle there. So to hold this up a bit closer so the YouTubers can see, let's get right up in here. And I'm actually I'll move the camera angle down here so that everybody can see a little bit better. Let's go ahead and bring this thing in. Ooh, doggy. Do it just like so. Yeah. Yeah, much better, right? Much better angle. So, let's look at this this filter knob, because that was Logan's issue right out the gate, and a few people were commenting about, hey, why would you have the filter cutoff knob be smaller than the LFO shape knob? There's a ton of space around it, so it's the size of quite a few Eurorack filter knobs, so that's cool. I mean, for comparison here, let's check this out. This is the Rossum Evolution filter. This is an awesome filter, by the way. One of the very, very few gripes that I have about this module, though, is it's very cramped. So you've got space here, yeah, sure, but your hands aren't really messing with that as much. The frequency knob on here, on the other hand, you can't even get your finger in between it. And this module right here costs more than this thing is going to retail. I know people don't want to talk about pricing, and they just want to talk about synth design, and that's fine. But to me, this was like the one gripe I had about this module is if he had made it just a little bit wider, we could, or staggered the knobs somehow, we could have had a little bit more space around it. But so that this knob right here is roughly the same size as this knob, except this knob, this is your filter cutoff here, has a plenty of room to get your hand on it, which is pretty cool. That makes me happy. The pots feel very firm. They do not feel like, what is it? The tension of the knob turn feels really solid. I mean, it does not feel like you're going to accidentally go out of tune or anything on this by rubbing your hands around it. I mean, if you look, just as an example, like if I kind of push on it, like when you're not getting like much, and there's no wiggle. It feels tight. I like that. The brute knobs, on the other hand, like those ones are pretty loose on the prototype. Not wiggle left, right, but I mean loose as far as like the viscosity or whatever on there. The tension of the knob. So as far as the frequency knob though, like that was my biggest concern was like, hey, like, yeah, they really did kind of put a small knob there, but that does not seem to be an issue because it's really, there's a lot of space. Now, I don't know if it's going to irk people if I do this or not, but let me see if I have one. Hold on. Hang on. That's not going to work. Hold on. I don't have one just yet. What I was about to do is I was going to grab a knob real quick that I could, like a wider knob to put on here. I want to see if it would affect it at all. Because if you're really upset about the knob size, I bet you could swap these two knobs and be fine. You still have really about the same amount of distance between most of it anyway. So if you swap the knob, I would assume you'd be fine. You can pull it right off. That's fine. Let's hang on. Is that one screwed in? No, it's just on there firm. And yeah, I'm that dude that starts taking stuff apart as soon as I get it. So let's just do this. I wonder what they'll say when they see this. They'll be like, dude, did he really just do that? So look, now I have a large filter knob. So the people freaking out about the ergonomics of it, yeah, not really a problem, right? That feels good to me, man. And then look, you got your LFO shape knob. That's fine. The indicators still line up just fine. No problem there. So that's cool. The red color was an issue of content with some people. They wanted it to be like, I guess, reverse colored. So where this is black, they would want it to be red. And where this is red, they would want it to be black. And yeah, they are D shafts. Metal D shafts on there. So I'll pull that back off so you guys can get a look. Oh, it's on there good and tight too. There we go. So where am I at? Sorry. Do you see the shaft right here? I'm like trying to look up at the screen while I move around, so just be nice. I know people on the internet are jerks. Be nice. So yeah, nice metal shafts on there. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, I just swapped that real quick just to see, just to see how I liked it. And there's plenty of room on there. I mean, like that's a non-issue. We'll pop that. I'm going to pop them back to normal for now because again, it's a prototype and I'm going to be testing it. And I want to, get a feel for how the average customer is going to be handling it and that sort of thing. So as far as pot stiffness, feels good. No issues there. And again, as far as testing wise is concerned, I'm kind of looking for problems too. I mean, being the nerd that I am, I do this even on gear that I buy. So, you know, this is just kind of my life. Button pressing. Let's see move this over a bit. I see Bully Finger in the Instagram. What up, Bully Finger? Buttons feel nice. They don't bother me. I was seeing some people talking about like button presses on cheaper gear that's less expensive, and complaints about it and whatnot. Feels good to me. We'll see how it operates when I actually turn it on. Let me okay. Well, let's see something here. So they didn't include a power adapter, but that's fine because it's 12 volt, 1000 mAh. It's got an on-off button here. We've got MIDI channel select around back. And yeah. Separate phono control. That's cool. That's appreciative. And we got our channel dip switches, USB, input, output, and phono. What I wanted to do is throw this thing right away in a rack. So give me a second here. Let's do that. I'm gonna actually throw it off. I'm gonna see if it'll fit first. This is the first time I mess with it. So yeah, it'll fit plenty. It should. So I'm gonna put this thing in a rack brute because I think it would make a cool pairing. So let's take these screws out. And they have metal screws in here. I like the nylon ones. I've been using nylon screws in my modular just because it's not so damaging to your rails if there's an accidental cross thread, and generally speaking a little bit nicer on your modules as well. If your modules have paint, a lot of times the nylon will rub paint off the same way as a metal screw will, but for the most part it's I know some people are crazy about rack rash. I don't get crazy about it. Okay. And again, just to reiterate, this is a prototype. So if we find anything weird looking underneath of there, I have not looked to see what the actual power consumption is for it being powered by a Eurorack. But the rack brute that I have over here, I mean, it doesn't have a lot of modules powered in there right now. And to be quite frank, they gave the rack brute a lot of power. That sucker is going to be fine. So we'll pop this out. Okay. So I see some yeah, it looks cool. Circuit board layout looks nice. Everything looks very organized. All right. And it is double-sided circuit board. I can see plenty of components on the inside in here. On that side as well. And for those that aren't really familiar with the way prototypes get tested and dealt with, usually there's, at least a few revisions. And sometimes before they make the actual revisions to the manufactured piece, they'll do hand soldered changes. And then once they confirm that the hand soldered changes are the way they want, they'll revise the actual circuit board and then they'll get it produced. So when you see things like that, that's usually what that is. For instance, I have a matrix brute over here. If I was to open it up, you'd see all kinds of hand soldered stuff going on inside of there. So let me grab a ribbon cable real quick and I will plug this up. Standard 10 pin. And we should be good. Matter of fact, looks like I may have, yeah. All right, so give me just a second here. I'll move the camera as well. I'll move both of these cameras, actually. We'll go right here. So I got the Instagram one set up. Now time to set this guy up. Let's change the angle a bit. All right. So, where was that? Ribbon cable, right? I know I've got one around here somewhere. I just have one. Here we go. No, I don't want to use that one. Here's one. I knew I had one out here somewhere. All right, so let's shut this off for a second. Now, if it were to explode and whatnot, that would be a problem. But I'm not expecting that to be the issue. How about we mount it right side up instead of upside down? Yeah? All right, so I'm going to go right like, I think I'll go to that side. Yeah, I think I like it like that a little bit more. Yeah. What do you think? No, because if I put another module in here, I want it close to the patch bay. So we'll do it here. And get my little awesome noise engineering screwdriver. I like little stuff like that. I have a noise engineering one, and I have a, what's the other one that I have? 4MS. All right. I'm just going to throw a few screws in here so it stays stable. And let me bring this up a little bit higher, actually, so it's out of my way. We'll go like this and like this. Hopefully that makes you happy. And I'll get the mic over here a little bit so you can actually hear me. Oh, bumping into the Instagram feed as well. Whatever. So yeah, a little bit about this this module. I was talking with the Midas team who created this thing. They're also the same team that created the DeepMind 12. And yeah, man, this thing is whole new design. I'm interested to hear this filter because from what I gather, it's a new filter design. The videos that I saw from Ben, DivKid, it sounds like it has kind of a slightly raspy character, but not overblown or anything. So I'm interested in that. Let's go ahead and kick this thing on. There's a light up sequence. And I think Rob probably had some fun with that startup sequence. I don't know how well you guys saw that. I'm going to shut this down and turn off the lights. Yeah, we'll turn off both of these so you guys can see this. Rob is the DSP engineer over there, and he's a nut. So we'll take a look at this. Are you catching all that? So what I'd like to do is I'll talk with Rob and I'll find out what all the deal is as far as what it's doing, because usually when he puts up a startup sequence or something in there, he's not doing it just for looks. Usually it's telling us something. So I don't know if he's got any kind of calibration that's happening there that it's explaining to us with the light show or what. but it's probably not just a light show for stoners, as Heathcliff is saying in here. But hey, if it is, I'm all for it, man. More psychedelic stuff, the better. So let's see here. Again, I have not even messed with this thing at all yet. So we got outputs. Yeah. This is interesting. We have an assign here. So that should be interesting. I'm just looking at some of the outputs. We have an oscillator mix out. We also have a VCA output. I'm going to assume that that's going to be our main output. So we'll go ahead, go right here. Now I have to be careful. I'm going to warn everybody now to watch your volume, because I don't know how loud this thing will be. So let's just be careful with that, okay? Now let's patch up some basic patching stuff here. We'll do yeah, I don't know if you have to go into both of those or not. Mult in, slew in. I'll bring this camera in nice and tight so you guys can see the patch bay as well and what we're dealing with. Here, we'll do it just like so, and then bring this up a bit. I don't know how well this live stream will work for this, but you guys can at least get an idea as far as what I'm dealing with. And yeah, so we'll do that, and we can go oscillator 1 and 2 in, and then for gate, where are we at here? I have this stuff like all patched all over the place right now. Bear with me. I guess I'll just undo that one. There we go. So we'll send gate from here. Hopefully I'm not too much in the way here. And we'll do gate input is going to be VCA CV. We can go there. I don't know if we'll have to mult it to the filter envelope if we're doing it this way. We have external gate 1, external gate 2. So we can try that. So Noise is asking what I think about the build quality and patch points and all that. I would say that you should go back and watch the beginning of the video because I went over that in detail. It feels really solid, and I show everything pretty in detail. I don't want to recap too heavy because that'll probably drive people nuts. Let's see. Let's just make sure our resonance isn't all the way up. We'll go ahead and bring the filter open. Mod depth is down. I don't know if that's bipolar or not. I haven't watched too many videos on it just yet, so you have to bear with me on that. Pulse width is down. Let's bring this to oh, I like it. It's a variable shape oscillators on there. That's pretty cool. Let's do just one oscillator at a time, though. And volume output here. Let's go ahead and hit play. We have it playing. So, yeah, we're getting... Okay. Let me bring this up. And envelope. I'm just going to set these envelopes real quick to where I think they should be. And we'll see where that takes us. Okay, so we're good on that. So, why am I going there? There we are. I went into the LFO instead of the gate because I'm silly. So we have sound now. Let me know in the feed how it sounds as far as volume level and my voice as well. Because I have no way of hearing what you guys are hearing. So you guys got to help me out a little bit. Yeah. All right. So let's have a play with the filter real quick. Bringing up the resonance. I'm just listening to see how much bass dropout I'm gonna get. No bass drop out. That's good. Bringing the resonance up. Lots of bass coming through now. That sounds pretty dope. I can't lie. I'm digging that. That filter has a cool sound. All right, now listen. I'm gonna go full res. And I know what you're thinking. You never go full res. I'm going full res. So, to anybody with their volume up loud, turn it down a little bit because I'm going full res. All right. So we're gonna go all the way down. We're gonna crack this sucker up. So filter cutoff is all the way down. Resonance is all the way up. Be prepared. So we'll see what we get. So I hear it self-resonating, but it's very, very low. Oh, that's because I have the gate shut. So let's do I have an offset? Well, this setup, I kind of, oh yeah, I do actually have an offset. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? I've got a Benz, a Warm Star Electronics, the Benz module here, which, you know, I'm going to be doing a Synth Summit show on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern with the creator of this module. And just so you guys know, this thing has 6 Vactrols in it. And it is, man, it's so crazy. The way he explains it in all the videos, all the demo videos that I've seen, it makes it so hard to understand. So we're going to do a live video and we're going to explain this module in detail, and it's going to blow your mind. So there we go. Now I got the VCA open. And that's self-resonance right there. Oh, you know what we need to do? We need to kill the oscillators. So let's see if we jack in, if it'll take them out. Oh, you know what? That's input. Let's go. That is not taking them out of the mix. I was hoping that by plugging these connections in, it would break the connection to the oscillator and just take it out of the mix. No. I am not necessarily sure if you can or cannot do that. I would hope that you can. Okay. So that's going to be something that I'm going to have to investigate, because as of right now, I just don't know the answer to it. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm still going to do a full oscillator sweep, but I do not see, I'm looking, yeah, I don't see a way to take the oscillators out of that. There's got to be a way. If not, that'll be my first gripe. So... Oh, I gotta pull the res back up. There we are. Alright, let's do this with the sequence playing. Alright, we'll bring that back down. Now let's get into some fun stuff. Just mess with the envelope depth as well. It's all the way down. I'm trying to do this in a way that I'm not blocking it too much, so I'm using one hand. And this is a patented technique called the crab claw. Alright, let's add. I gotta make the sequence a little bit more funky. There we go. So we'll do this. Yeah. Let's go back to using the gate. There we go. All right, now let's see what these envelopes are doing. Let's hear just the decay. Let's check out the envelope on the filter. Analog delay. We also have our drive. And you have a separate level control, which is nice because I'm watching the mixer over there and I saw that I was getting close to the clipping and I can back it off. And we have a tone control as well. That's pretty nice. Let's bring that back. Give it a little bit of drive. Very snappy envelopes. All right, now let's bring in the second oscillator and I'll play with the tuning of it. Very nice. We'll bring in that LFO. All right, let's take the mod back down. And let's give this thing a second here. right, so we're getting a question asking about the maths output on the filter. So really what you should be asking about here, what we should be asking about is, what does the filter sound like when it's modulated at audio frequencies? So I'm actually going to go output of my SEM oscillator here into oscillator 1 real quick. And I'm going to go back to just giving it an offset to open up the VCA. All right, and actually we'll do it like this. Yeah, that's fun. Hopefully it wasn't clipping too bad over there. I'm trying to watch the levels, but it's not so easy. All right, back to. Oh, you know what? I'm being ridiculous this whole time. So this whole time I'm sitting here messing with it and I'm using offsets. Again, this is literally the first time I've opened it up out of the box. I just realized something. There's a VCA bias knob right here. So you can actually open up your VCA without having to do any other patching, which is awesome. So again, just to be clear, I'm not a moron. I'm just excited and moving quickly. But that's dope. So let's listen to the filter in some other modes, right? We'll go ahead and bring this back down. And yeah, what I'll do here is, let me get the gate back. So we'll go gate back to external 1. High pass with resonance, of course. So that's what resonance just past 12 o'clock, around like 1 o'clock. And then we'll take this down a little bit. Let's go to bandpass mode. I love bandpass filters, man. Lots of nice resonance on that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Cool ass bass drums all day with this thing. Which, by the way, if you're a member on sounds.com, and actually if you're you may or may not have just missed out on the free stuff, but if you're a member on sounds.com, go support by checking out my sounds on there and downloading as many of them as you can, because that's how I get paid. Fluxwithit on sounds.com. I don't have a Patreon. I'm not fancy. I'm just a guy messing with synthesizers. That bandpass is awesome. I'm digging that. You get that kind of, man, like when you had that resonance up high like that, I probably killed a couple of teenagers, because you get some really high frequencies with that. This is where that drive comes in handy. Tone control lets you shape it out kind of nicely. Back to low pass. Turn on oscillator sync. Access to all three ranges. That's pretty cool. Messing around with oscillator sync. elbow. Yeah, it goes pretty damn fast. And I haven't even really gotten into fun patching yet. So the oscillator shapes, just to go back to that real quick, because we're getting a question about it. So I'll turn this down for a second. Take this, bring this up. So let's go ahead and check out the, matter of fact, let's get fancy here for a second, all right? We're going to go pinky out for just a minute. Here, let's see if I can do it this way. I got to adjust the camera situation. And I'll only stream for a while longer, so I'm going to be cutting it off in just a bit because I do have products to work on and matters to attend to. So let's see if we can't set this thing up. Yeah. All right, so we'll go ahead and do do this. And this guy will go here. Oh goodness, that's gonna be loud, isn't it? Let's turn that down a bit. And actually, we'll do. Yeah, so let me do it like this. We'll go into here. And then bear with me. I just want to attenuate this thing down so I'm not killing you guys. By the way, Antimodule, Tranimodule is an awesome module to use. All right, so what we're looking at now is the oscillator mix. And let's just do this real quick. And see if I can adjust this a bit. Okay. That's pretty good, right? So let's sweep through this. Okay. And we got that little notch in there too. So that's pulse width on there. Interesting. Get a kind of cool wave shape out of that. And we'll let's actually go. Actually, hold on. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, it steps through, but you have, what's crazy is where is it at? I don't know what I just changed. See, I'm in between right now. I'm in between this ramp wave and the square wave here, this pulse. And if you look, I can get the shape going. If I bring it a little bit further, there's that. Bring it back a little bit. So there's like a little quirk that you can find. That's kind of cool. I like finding quirks like that. If I go, it was weird. I had some shape control over this earlier, didn't I? I have to go back and watch the video and see what I changed. But like, I mean, you guys saw it too, so the question is what's the deal? Let me see if I can kind of. Maybe it was syncing when it wasn't supposed to. I mean, this is a prototype, so like if I turn sync on. I'm not seeing it there. Let me bring this mix up a bit. I can get it obviously with sync and bring the mix up, but I thought I had the mix all the way to the left. Maybe I didn't. Now I'm gonna have to go back and watch that and see what it was that I was noticing. Okay, because of course I could do it here. All right, let's go all the way over to this. Now we're on oscillator 2. And that's a smooth, look at that. Oh yeah, you damn right that's sexy. For $300 too, that's crazy. Let's bring the shape up. And the oscillator sync will. Now I got to find something out, so let me just do a quick patch. I got to find this out for myself. Yes, you can. Sweet. So I'm going to take this over to maths. Do this. That should be going here. That is shape 2. Look at this. Things are happening. I'm feeling very warm in interesting places now. that's pretty wacky. I'm digging that. Now let's go into shape 1, turn on sync. I'll slow this down a bit. That's pretty awesome right there. I don't know if the LFO is 1 volt per octave. It is paraphonic. It says it right there. Again, this is an unboxing, so this is my first time touching this thing. It was not at NAMM, so this is the first time I've actually gotten to be around it. And I haven't really had time to watch all of Ben's videos. I've only seen a few audio demos. All right, now let's go ahead and let's do this. All right. Let's change this sequence up a bit. What do you say? Throw some ties and stuff in there. Okay. Going into sheet 1. What's interesting, so let me just show you guys something interesting that I'm noticing is, and again, this being a prototype, I don't know if this is how it'll stay, but this is pretty cool to check out. So the shape knob, if I have it all the way clockwise right now on oscillator 1, that's when I'm getting my my modulation going. So if I plug it into shape 2, which is, you know, oscillator 2 shape, and I have it all the way counterclockwise, I get the modulation there, right? Now if I turn this all the way up, it just goes down to here, right, down to the sine wave, and I'm getting no modulation there. If I go back to shape 1, if I do the opposite, turn this one counterclockwise now, I get no modulation there. So it's odd that these two knobs are like, they're like polar opposites of each other. Like that's interesting. So just something to be, you know, to know about. I find that interesting. So again. What else do we have here? PCA in, got 2 external gates. So let's try something out here. All right. We do have onboard attenuators, so we have some utility here. That's cool. Yeah. So anyway, I'll cut it off here, and I gotta get some work done, and I'm gonna have to dive into this thing on a more technical level and check it out. But if you guys have questions and you want to know more about it, if you're as curious as I am, feel free to hit me up on Facebook or on YouTube or wherever, wherever you can find me. I will be doing more videos on this thing, and I will be checking it out. I'm going to be combining it with these two a lot, because why not? Right? Where are we at here? Here we are. Look at that. A Brute and a Neutron. Why not? I actually have a System 1M behind it as well. I'm going to combine it with that. I'll check that stuff out, see how that's doing. And of course, I have the large modular rig behind me that I'll be checking it out with. Please like, subscribe, and share. That it actually helps. The synth community is really small, so it's not like I get the same kind of reach as if I was doing Minecraft videos. So also check out fluxwithit.com, and if you go on to nativeinstrumentssounds.com, it's basically a monthly subscription service of like $9.99. If you go to Fluxwithit on there, download my sounds, and that helps me out a ton. So yeah, I'm gonna be checking it out. It's very shallow, definitely skiff friendly. That's cool. And I have a lot to learn on it. I need to, learn what the normalized paths are, and and I'm going to be checking out envelope times and slopes, and checking out the drive and exactly how far it goes, and what kind of clipping you're getting with it, what kind of harmonics is it adding, everything. Yeah. So peace.